have here at the library called Narcos. When I watched the first episode, I wasn't that impressed. But I thought, okay, I'll watch 2, and after that I was completely hooked. And it's the story of how cocaine came into the United States through South America, or through Central America, actually. It all began in Chile with a man nicknamed the Cockroach. He was a chemist who designed a small lab in the jungle where they were making cocaine. The Chilean government did not want this. They came and they shot all the men who were making this cocaine into a ditch. They all fell. But by some stroke of horrible, unfortunate luck for the world, the Cockroach lived. And when all the policemen left, he emerged out of this pit. He then connected up with a man called Pablo Escobar, who had an established route for things like alcohol, cigarettes, maybe pot, appliances for your home. He'd already established a route between Colombia and the United States. And his motto was lead or silver. In other words, either I'll pay you to let me buy, or I'll shoot you. Which would you like? Well, naturally, the policemen all took the money. And so when they connected up, the route to bring cocaine into the United States was already established. And from there, it is a roller coaster ride. Pablo Escobar is such an interesting individual. He was a kind son to his mother, a loving husband to his wife, and a devoted father to his children. Yet if you crossed him or showed any disloyalty whatsoever, he'd shoot you as well as look at you. And the bloodbath that ensues is something that, even though I lived through that time, it was the late 70s and early 80s, I never even knew it was so horribly bad. And in Colombia, the people weren't living a normal life. They were just totally terrorized by what was going on in their country due to these drug wars. And one of the biggest parts of the drug war was, it was so bad that America sent in some DEA agents. And this story is actually told from the viewpoint of Steve Murphy, a DEA agent, who is now in Colombia trying to stop this cartel. That's when things really heat up. I highly recommend Narcos. I can't get it out of my mind. It's not, oh, and I also wanted to say, this is done by Netflix. And Netflix didn't really care if you bought it or not, because you're buying Netflix. So there's a lot of original footage of Pablo Escobar, which makes it all so real. When they're storming this Palace of Justice, you actually see the actual footage. There's actual footage of Pablo Escobar. And that just makes it, it's like almost a documentary without being a documentary. So now I would like to talk about something interesting that we've been doing here at the library. We have made these bookmarks, so you should pick them up when you come into the library. They're in these cute little holders that look like a book. Alex made these little holders with our 3D printer. This one says you can easily request materials from 47 other libraries. This one says you can download ebooks with your library card, and when you pick it up, on the other side it gives you more information, and we have many more subjects. So when you're in here, please make sure you get one of these bookmarks. Alex?
All right, thanks. For a complete tonal shift, my movie is a children's movie. It's The Iron Giant. This is an older pick. It's from 1999, directed by Brad Bird, who has some serious cartoon cred as one of the original directors on The Simpsons, and he would also later go on to do Pixar's The Incredibles and Ratatouille, so a heavy hitter in the animated world. The Iron Giant takes place in 1957. It's a period piece. It's the same year that the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1 into orbit, and that Cold War panic is an undercurrent throughout the whole movie, and it plays a big part in the finale. Our protagonist is Hogarth Hughes. He's a 10-year-old boy who finds a giant robot in the woods around his house. And for a kid who reads comic books and stays up late watching crummy B-movies, this is a dream come true. At least at first, until he realizes that he can't hide the giant, and that the giant subsists on eating metal, which becomes a challenge for Hogarth to find a way to feed this giant. The giant himself is great. He starts out as more of a pet, who does simple things, who gets in trouble and almost hurts people just because he doesn't know how the world works yet. But as the giant interacts with Hogarth and the other humans in the film, the giant himself becomes more human, and he even starts thinking about subjects like death and what his place is on Earth. It's a very interesting film. One of the things I really like about The Iron Giant is that it doesn't fall into the trap that a lot of children's movies fall into, which is where the adults are either powerless or the villain. The adults in this movie are cool. They're complex, they have agency and motivation. They're fun to watch. They're just as fun to watch as The Little Boy and His Giant Robot. As an older viewer, I can now go back and appreciate this movie on different levels. It's also a great movie for kids. I just rewatched it with my nephew. He loved the film. If you're looking for something light, something fun, something that teaches something with heart and soul, I recommend The Iron Giant.
Where can you get this, Alex?
You can get this at the Monroe Free Library.
Check it out.
Bye.
Bye.
Burned away.